Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Enchant Films. Get ready to watch some of the funniest movie scenes ever in a list that ranges from goofy to clever to gross. Number 1. National Lampoon's Vacation, Clark's Sandwich Dance. While last year's sequel/reboot Vacation certainly had its moments, there's no denying that the original 1983 National Lampoon's Vacation starring Chevy Chase at its peak is an all-time comedy classic. It's one of those movies that's hard to flick past when you see it on TV, since like many movies on this list, it's just teeming with laugh-out-loud scenes. And amidst all the madness, there's still a real heart, a desire for family unity. But enough of that sap. Let's get to the dog pee. In this scene, we have the Griswold family along with Aunt Edna and her dog, taking a break at a rest stop during their road trip. During their travels, Clark has engaged in some light flirting with a Ferrari-driving blonde. He spots her at the rest stop as she strangely puts on a little flirty dance for him, while she drinks from a soda bottle. Clark can't get enough, so he bizarrely flirts back. His dance is funny enough, but when he starts opening his sandwich and shoving it to her, our guts really bust. How does he think that's attractive? But he's so confident. It all comes to a screeching halt when his wife, Ellen, realizes that all the sandwiches are wet, moaning, "The dog wet on the picnic basket!" And the flirting ends as the blonde watches Clark spit his sandwich all over the place. Finally, to put a button on the proceedings, comedy legend Coca shrugs her shoulders and continues to eat her dog pea sandwich. Number 2, There's Something About Mary, the Zipper. Sure, the Farrelly brothers have been hit and miss over the years, and more miss than hit as of late. But they were at the top of their game with 1998's There's Something About Mary. The dialogue was funny, there was hilarious gross-out humor, and there was even a sincere love story at its heart. Granted, there were at least 5 men in love with the same woman, but still, it was Ted's undying love for Mary that took the movie to another level. And the bedrock for that love was laid during the film's early flashback scene, when geeky Ted arrives at Mary's house to take her to prom. Stiller is perfectly awkward as shaggy-haired, brace-faced young Ted. He has to relieve himself, so he heads to the bathroom for a pee, when he innocently spots Mary through the window, changing in her bedroom. Shocked, he cringingly zips his fly over a certain part of his anatomy with a blood-curdling scream. Mary's family, concerned, comes to the rescue. Mary's stepfather comes in to take a look, and his reaction is too much. Then, her mother comes along for a peek. She's a dental hygienist after all. And they're having trouble discerning if it's the Frank or the beans that's stuck. "How the hell did you get the beans above the Frank?" his stepfather shouts. Then, along come the cops and a firefighter, and all the while, Stiller is a comically awkward victim as these people hilariously don't know what to do with him. And the cherry on top, a paramedic shouts, "We got a bleeder!"
One thing to do here.
Wait, you know what? I got an idea. Look. I can just, we don't have to do anything because...
Number 3, Spaceballs, watching Spaceballs. If you're a comedy fan, we don't have to tell you that Mel Brooks movies are a treasure trove of hilarity. You really can't go wrong with a film the now 90-year-old living legend writer-director has created. Though Star Wars spoof Spaceballs was released in 1987, he's only directed 3 movies since, and we can fairly safely call it his last great effort, which is certainly not to say the last 3 didn't have their moments. Brooks was never afraid to go meta and break the fourth wall. But the Spaceballs watching Spaceballs scene is the pinnacle. In it, Darth Vader, wannabe Dark Helmet Rick Moranis, is with his cronies, searching their radar for the good guys, who are nowhere to be seen. His Tarkin, Colonel Sanders, has the bright idea to bust out the cassette of the Spaceballs movie. This was before DVDs and Blu-rays, and streaming made it easier to skip through movies, despite the fact that they're hurtling through space in a technological marvel. And they do debate how it's possible to be on the set of the movie and watch it at the same time. After funny commands to prepare to fast forward through the FBI warning and Helmet not enjoying seeing himself fly headfirst into a wall, they finally arrive at the very moment they're in, watching themselves in real time. Number 4, Anchorman, Newscaster Brawl. It might come as a surprise that Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, didn't even make $100 million during its theatrical release in 2004. It only made $90.6 million. After all, it's become a highly quotable comedy and spawned a sequel, Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. 9 years later, that made a whopping $173.6 million. The sequel also reprised the original's insane newscaster battle royale. And it was good in its own right. But there's just no beating the unexpected cameos and pure hilarity of the original. In it, the male newscasters are down in the dumps and get lost while in search of a suit store. But along comes a rival news team out for a bike ride for no apparent reason. Led by Vince Vaughn in a cameo, and the rivals taunt our heroes. Suddenly, they all pull out weapons they've inexplicably been hiding in their suits. Ron asks, "Brick, where'd you get a hand grenade?" Dopey Brick responds, "I don't know." But along comes Luke Wilson's well-armed team, then Tim Robbins and Ben Stiller's Spanish-language news team. Ron declares that there's one rule for this battle of pampered newsmen: no touching of the hair or face. But when they hear the sirens, they scramble. Cut to the office when Ron puts the icing on the cake, hilariously stating the obvious. Boy, that escalated quickly. Number 5. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, The Black Knight. Narrowing down just one Monty Python scene for this list is a difficult task. Much of their humor, admittedly, is an acquired taste, and this scene may be no exception. Monty Python's The Meaning of Life had Mr. Creosote exploding, graphic sex ed, and Find the Fish, and Life of Brian was blasphemously gut-busting. But this rip, pun intended, roaringly raucous scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail takes the cake for us. King Arthur is riding his fake horse through the forest when he stumbles upon the dreaded Black Knight, impaling his foe through the head. Impressed, His Royal Highness invites the victor to join him in his court at Camelot. Silence from the Black Knight, who stands still and unimpressed. "You make me sad," responds the rejected king of the Britons. But BK will not let him pass, so Arthur has no choice. It's fighting time. They unsheath their swords, and Arthur avoids the intimidating and overconfident Black Knight's slashes with comic ease. Before long, a simple swipe rips off the knight's arm, blood pouring out. And it's in the Black Knight's calm reactions as Arthur easily slashes off limb after limb where the true hilarity of the scene lies. "'Tis but a scratch. I've had worse. It's just a flesh wound." And finally, when he's just a torso with the head, and Arthur rides off in victory, the Black Knight shouts, "I'll bite your legs off!" This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.